there's a quote that I want to say to you right now that if our profession would get this concept, if we would get this concept, we literally could overnight change the way the direction of this stuff goes. And that is the power of the people are more powerful than the people in power.
All right, chiropractors and chiropractic students, welcome to the Family Practice Podcast. You know, the one you've been waiting way too long for, because this podcast will actually stay focused on chiropractic. Not only what it takes to get world-class clinical results for kids and families in your community, but also what it takes to build a legendary, incredible family practice that takes care of your family way beyond your dreams. I'm Dr. Tony Ebel, and I'll be joined by Dr. Matt Hill, Dr. Ellie Wright, Jackie Jacobowitz, and incredible guests, Chiros, associates, CAs, all these folks making massive impact around the world. We're going to cover everything: pediatrics, perinatal, family practice. This is the podcast you've been waiting for, because moms and dads and families have always needed us. Now they're finally ready for us. I hope you're ready for the Family Practice Podcast. Let's go. All right, chiropractic profession, let's be real for a second. We are standing in a moment where the world desperately needs principled, purpose-driven leadership in healthcare. And at the same time, the chiropractic profession is still battling infighting, confusion, fear, and watered-down weak messaging that's robbing our communities of the miracles we know are possible. So today, I'm bringing you a conversation with a man who has been fearlessly fighting to change that, Bharon Hoag. I've known Bharon for years, and I can say this with total conviction: there is no one who fights harder, louder, or with more relentless clarity for this profession and bringing it together than he does. He's been in the trenches for over 2 decades, helping doctors clean up their practices, amplify their message, and fight back when the system tries to silence or stall our progress. In the middle of COVID, if this man isn't all freaking in for chiropractic, I don't know where we are today. But this episode isn't about what happened 5 years ago. This episode is about capturing the opportunity right at our doorstep as a profession today. The movement's on. However you look at it, from MAHA to the nervous system and the vagus nerve trending on the vagus nerve trending on TikTok. If we don't get ourselves together, our profession together, all of our specialties, all of our uniqueness, all of our communities need all of it. And we're going to be so much more impactful, and it's going to be so much better for us even individually if we get things together collectively. So what Bharon is doing through One Chiropractic and the Chiropractic Defense Council is exactly what we've needed for a long time. Bold, unfrickin' apologetic advocacy that isn't afraid to call out the status quo and replace it with something significantly better. And I'll say this personally: Bharon has already helped us in the PX tribe in massive ways behind the scenes. His insight, his support, his team, and his commitment to our mission has made us better, braver, louder, and more prepared to lead this next chapter and take over for the pediatrician. So in this episode, I'm sharing a powerful conversation I recently had on Bharon's podcast, The State of Chiropractic, where he called me and he said, I know what I want to say on this episode. You're the only one I want to say it with. So that was quite an honor to be selected for this particular conversation, because it's raw, it's real, and it's a reminder that the future of chiropractic is not something we wait for. It's something we build together. Let's freaking go.
All right, everybody, this is a warning, right? This is the warning label. Back in my day, they used to say like explicit language or dangerous topic. That's exactly what's going to happen for the next 25 minutes. And so if you're watching this, I need you to buckle up and be prepared. My brother, Dr. Tony Ebel from PX, man, thank you so much for being willing to have this conversation with me. But I'm excited about it, dude. First of all, brother, how are you? How's God treating you recently?
Fantastic. Literally moving mountains, giving opportunity, miracles are being made, and we're all out, man. We're fully sprinting forward because the opportunity for impact is here. It's not something coming, it's here right now. So we're capturing.
Absolutely, dude. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So those of you, obviously, if you're watching this, you know me. I'm the executive director of One Chiropractic and the Chiropractic Defense Council. And if you don't know Dr. Ebel, you definitely need to spend some time to learn about him. And Dr. Ebel probably has one of the fastest impacting organizations in the pediatric space that there is in the world. God has just really opened up some doors and really been blessing the work of that group. And he and I share a very similar, I'm going to say it, we're kind of both full of piss and vinegar. Like we are at a point, we were just talking offline a little bit. We're at a point where we have such excitement for the vision that God's given us of where this is going. When I say this, I'm talking about healthcare in general. I'm talking about the revolution of the patient being so educated that they start demanding and making choices that are going to cause generational change in the healthcare delivery system around the world. Like both of us agreed, Doc, you have that vision without any doubt.
Yeah, there's no reason to not be ornery and full of piss and vinegar and really gritty right now, because we do this for them and they're now here. They're making this radical shift, this transformation, and especially families, especially parents of this generation. They are done, literally done with big pharma, big food, and modern medicine. And they are now, though, they're freaking in purgatory. You know, they're like, should I go here? Should I go there? They know where not to go, but they don't know where to go. We do know where to lead them, where to guide them, and where to transform them. And so I couldn't agree more. And it's us now inside chiropractic that is also needing to face that reality and say, we also know where not to go, right? Do we really think that just building a standard back and neck pain insurance dependent practice is going to revolutionize the world? How long we've been swinging that bat, right? With bunt singles at best. And so we know where not to go, but I do think a lot of chiropractors share that public place of ready for momentum, but spinning their tires, right? And not firmly, fully sure, like you and I are, of saying, here is where to haul ass forward. And so that's the message. We just got to get to our own brothers and sisters, right?
Yeah, and so that's really what led to this conversation. Is I'm going to go on a mini little rant here for a second, and I'm really excited to hear your take back, because you and I've worked together, both from a business side, both as brothers, both as just friends that love the same stuff. So you know my heart as well as just about anybody. But I'm extremely frustrated. I'm frustrated in that we as a profession, although we've had the keys to the kingdom, in my opinion, really from the very beginning, we cannot get out of our generational loop, our generational bad pattern. Just like our bodies, where our brain goes into a pattern, it gets bad information, starts developing truths that are unreal, and therefore interpreting and putting out motor output that is really not what's best for the being. Our profession tends to do that same thing. And I'm not blaming an individual organization. I'm not blaming a technique. I'm not blaming an individual. It is just generational, the way that we are really functioning as a profession at a whole. We are very segmented. We refuse to organize. We refuse to celebrate our differences. We refuse to come together and work on the things that we agree on. We just continue to focus on the things we don't agree on. We duplicate efforts. We perpetuate frustration and accusations, and we wonder why our profession is still really low-hanging fruit to be attacked, and why we have places like British Columbia that's restricting x-rays, why we have in Australia them saying chiropractors can't see children 2 and under, why even here in the United States we still have payers that are just not recognizing, or even other specialties that are coming after and accusing chiropractors. You know, I hear of not being real doctors, and I hear all the time about parity and all of this. Listen, there's a quote that I want to say to you right now, that if our profession would get this concept, if we would get this concept, we literally could overnight change the way the direction of this stuff goes. And that is, the power of the people are more powerful than the people in power. The power of the people are more powerful than the people in power. We are a very small profession. We have roughly 80,000 chiropractors in the United States. I have more MDs in my town of Columbus than we have chiropractors in the entire country. We cannot outswing them. What we can do is organize. What we can do is find a way to come together, is to work together, to share the infinite amount of knowledge that we possess, each from our own perspective, our own reality, and find safety and security in coming together and organizing, rather than seeing each other as competitors. I don't care your technique. I don't care what kind of practice you have. This is about falling back in love with a profession, doing what our forefathers did, the shoulders that we stand on today, where they went to jail for the right for us to do what we do today. We need to be that generation for the next. And now's the time to come together and celebrate those differences, organize, work together, pool our resources, and start kicking the hell out of some of these obstacles that are in front of us rather than building them up on our own behalf. So, all right, I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. Well, I'm ready. They don't call me Tony the Tangent for nothing. And this isn't even Tony most of the tangents and the rants are right in the freaking main line of, what we're talking about and what we need to hear and what we need to do. And that's this. The truth is we launch PX. Everybody, when they onboard the very first video, it's in the first minute. And I just let them know that everything that's different with our mission, our vision, and therefore our strategic operation. So if our mission and vision is different in its batting order and its prioritization, well, then our operation is also different. And so where I'm going with this is literally lock and step with what you just said. We built PX for them. We built it for those kids to get their health transformed, and we built it for those parents to have their hope renewed, the answers fully actually given as to why their kids are so sick and how to get them and keep them healthy. And so nothing we do is actually for the individual chiropractor, for the group of chiropractors. It's actually perfectly aligned with the reason that every damn person became a chiropractor. For them, for service, for impact. Somehow along the way, and we get it, we have school debt, you start a building, you have rent, you have payroll, you have these things, and all of a sudden you screw up with one painfully obvious move. You put yourself first. And when we put ourselves first, now our technique matters, now our way of doing things matter, now we're different. No, you're not. You're not different. You're not different in why you signed up to be a chiropractor. You're the same. You are in service of others. And so I love this. I think I know you tapped into right there what has been our nitrous, right? What has been our secret unlock is that we don't give a shit about anything else. That is literally the only thing we care about is reaching more kids, delivering the highest quality care, and transforming their lives. Now, as soon as that is in the crosshairs, and there's nothing else, like when we look in our scope, there's nothing else. It's just that. It's just those kids and families there. We then make all of our decisions of what to do and not to do. And I'll say exactly as you said, what to care about and what to not care about. They're all filtered through that lens, through that why. So especially being focused on pediatrics, perinatal, and family care, it is requisite of me to cheer on all the other chiropractors in my community who take care of all the patients that I would rather do anything but care for. But I want those people to have the highest level of care that is perfectly attenuated for them. I'm just not their chiropractor, right? Same as they're not the baby who's in the NICU's chiropractor, right? So the totality of our mission is dependent upon our literal collaboration and our excitement and our enthusiasm. And you said it there and I wrote it down. Our ability to celebrate. Dude, you do things completely differently than me. Yeah. But you do chiropractic, man. You do chiropractic and you do it with excellence and you do it with heart and you do it with purpose. So let's freaking go and let's get it together. And, probably another chapter that is certainly there too. And I think it becomes, again, it's actually the combination, in Stevenson, he said, combination major subluxations are the worst of these, right? So a multiple majors are the biggest dysfunction to function. Well, one other thing that is there is we are so easily distracted and diluted. But it's easy to be distracted and diluted if you're only caring about yourself and your income and your status. It's really impossible to be thrown off track if the only thing you care about is in service of others. And the power
100%.
Is in those people. We exist for them. And if I teach this to my kids, Bharon, I'm not, don't be so self-interested, because actually if you knew how to best take care of yourself, you would take care of others first, because that's biblical. Right. It's biological. Right. It's everything, and so that's us, man. And we could almost just go back into scripture and say, well, there's our path forward. Yeah. Let's just become obsessed for them, for those people. All of our power to get rid of all our generational subluxations exists by just getting out of our own way, by going back to what we signed up for in the first place, which is being in service of others and not caring. Literally, not a fun word, not a cliche. I mean it. Not caring about anything other than that. It'll keep you centered. It'll bring you back to center when, the salesman who wants you to get distracted and become about yourself tries to take you off course. You will be unmesswithable and stay on course if you keep that first and always.
Love it. Unmesswithable.
Well, I had
like
a different.
That's a good name.
You say it with a different word.
I love it. No, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna lodge that one up there. So if you're watching this right now, here's my thing. At the end of the day, one of the strategies that was used to take chiropractic off of the page was segregation and ignorance, keeping people unaware of what's going on and keeping them separated. You know, I sit in a lot of circles. I sit in a lot of meetings with a lot of groups that have spent a lot of time and money trying to figure out how to corner chiropractic. And when I get in the opportunity to have certain conversations with them, I'm going into these conversations thinking that they have these big meetings and they're figuring out strategy, how they're going to target, how they're going to take down chiropractic. And really what I find out from them is they just stay out of our way. They said, we don't have to do it. You guys have kind of done a great job of your own of doing that. You have 2 state associations in your state. You have 2 national associations. None of them are properly supported. And so none of them are really as effective as they could be. We have learned that you guys are doing a darn good job of really disintegrating yourselves rather than us having to target. We've just stayed out of your way. And it's so funny because our experience during COVID, and Tony, you and I worked quite a bit during the COVID time because of all of your members and obviously our stance when it came to being required and mandated to vaccinate our teams and our doctors. You know, I saw firsthand the power that comes when people organize. Yeah. Our country was founded on the same damn thing. You look at paper, there's no way that the Revolutionary War should have ended the way that it should have. You look at a number of different things. Look at the World War II. There's just no way certain things should happen unless enough people get pissed off, organized, and work together.
That's right.
I want to figure out a way within chiropractic. How can we do that without the sky falling? This is the nucleus of my frustration. Our profession is amazing when we're under attack. We are resilient. We're 130 years old, and we have been attacked more than any healthcare specialty in the history of healthcare, and we are still here, and I'm going to argue stronger than we ever have been. But we only make those strides when we're under attack. We miss so many opportunities that God puts before us. Because the minute that crisis is over, everyone goes back to their own 4 walls, sticks their head in a hole, and starts again validating themselves by judging others. Damn. So I need to get to a point. We created One Chiropractic because we wanted a space where people could go that we're not asking them to fly a philosophical flag, but we believed that there needed to be a place that people could go when the shit hits the fan, when you feel isolated and alone and you don't know whether it's a letter from a regulatory board, whether it's an abuse from a payer, whether it's another specialty coming after you in your community saying different things. Where do you go that you can be heard, be given the tools and resources you need? Not that we're going to take on every single battle that ever exists, but us gaining that knowledge and working with you and guiding you through those scenarios is the strength that people will actually start standing up and stop caving. We caved as a profession to the insurance model, and that's a whole nother conversation, and I'm happy to share with you because I can chronicle exactly why and how we became so submissive to the insurance reimbursement model. This is what grew the mechanistic mindset that exists in our profession. Not that I'm blaming anyone for having it, but there's really a chronological order to how that actually became what it is today and why there's such a separation between styles of practices. I don't care how you practice. What I want you to know is you're not alone. What I want you to know is there's a place for you to go that helping you sharing those things with us helps us to further defend the profession worldwide. But we have to stop segmenting. We have to start organizing. I'm not asking us to unify. Unify means we have like thoughts and minds, and that's never going to happen in chiropractic. But we can organize around the idea that the rights of practicing chiropractors can and will and should be protected. You should be able to choose how you want to practice. You should be able to say, I do want to do pediatrics and family care, or I don't. And either way is fine, but we need to be organized so that you know where to send, just exactly like Dr. Ebel was just telling. If you understood in your practice, like in our practice, we're very unique in ours, and I don't see Medicare patients. I don't see workers' comp patients. Same. We don't see personal injury patients. We are 100% neurologically based. We see people once a week. That is their lifestyle. They come in. Our whole system is built around them coming in, getting them through their acute phase of care, and then getting them them onto once a week life care. That's just the way our thing is built. We refer so much to other chiropractors that specialize in workers' comp. Even if our own existing patient gets hurt at work, we're not going to take it. We're going to say, hey, we got a great guy down the street that's more built for that. He can manage your care. As soon as you're done with your case, come on back and we'll pick right back up where we're off. We do the same thing for Medicare. Hey, if you want to use your Medicare, we totally understand it. We're not built for that. We're going to go ahead and send you over here. They do a great job of it, right? There's such peace in that, and it brings community together with other chiropractors because they know we're not in the business of stealing their patients. We actually send them more than we've ever taken from them. And so there's peace in mind. Our team's happy because we're built for a specific reason. Everyone else around us is happy because they're getting those and they're not another chiropractor talking crap. So there's peace in organizing. There's peace in understanding our place and moving forward. But we have got to figure this out as a profession. The opportunities we have over the next 3 years, we have such opportunity in this space if our profession can figure out how to organize and make things happen. And that's the challenge, man. That's where we want to move this needle forward.
Let me take the word that matters. They all matter. Let me take the word that is just literally slammed to the front of my prefrontal cortex, which is where, right, strategy and decision and action come from. And and we can literally tie the chiropractic adjustment to the juice of that. Thanks, Dr. Harvick and the NCC crew. So that is where big mountain moving decisions and clarity points come from. So when you say organization, my brain, my strategy, mission, disruption, takeover building brain goes from the word organization, which the words I'm about to get to, we cannot get to without. So you go from organization to offense, and then you capture opportunity. See, the Chiropractic Defense Council, to me, and this is the very first conversation we had, because we actually started to chat about this even before COVID really banded together, because you knew I was going forth 1,000,000 miles per hour and going to very intentionally, very strategically piss off a lot of people, right? We're going to piss off the pediatrician, the neurologist, the big pharma, and everything else. Did we know that other people would join us over these 3 to 4 years and actually freaking part the waters and say, oh, us too? We thought we were going to be going against it, right? And now we're going with it. We are literally going with it. So organization will lead to the collaboration of offense. Chiropractors listening, I know what you want to do. Move forward. You want to grow your clinic. You want to impact your community, and you don't want to move forward a step or two and be the 3rd choice or the 15th choice for those kids, those families, those patients. Choose your specialty. What the frick would it look like if you were first choice? So we need the Chiropractic Defense Council and One Chiropractic because we're going to play such an immense amount of offense, capture so much opportunity, and take so much ground. We will be required to send the defense out there too. Promise you that. We will be required to have a war chest, as you taught me, brother. You're the one leading this. I will be the little man pissing people off and then sending you. I won't even have to text you. You'll be right on my hip and be like, I'm here too, brother. And so, guys, everybody listening, we know you want that. COVID pulled it out of you. You hauled ASS forward because you certainly weren't going to be pushed backwards. And what did COVID really put at risk? What can we learn from that? It put the health of others at risk, the shot, and then it put your livelihood at risk. It was the combination of the two that got you pissed off enough to get organized. Let it be both still today. You guys, their health is still at massive risk. They are still dependent upon the medical system because even though they're in that purgatory metaphor I gave you before, they will default back to, you know what, go ahead and vaccinate my kid. I don't know what else to do. Go ahead and give him an antibiotic. I don't know what else to do. I don't want this antidepressant, but I'll take it because I don't know what else to do. And the reason they don't know what else to do is because we haven't organized enough to get our message, which is our mission, out there loud enough to enough of them. We get organized. We can play offense at a level this profession has never seen. And we will capture opportunity because the nervous system, drug-free, is trending. So it is only via bad shit strategy that chiropractic isn't trending right now. And I can actually speak, even though I said that as kind of a global chiropractic truth, I can speak to it as not true in my world. Pediatric chiropractic, neurologically focused pediatric chiropractic is trending. I have literally, right now, I am getting invites to DC. I'm getting invites to people who are in the top 10 not even just top 100, top 10 on Apple and Spotify, health and wellness podcasts. We have, this is how you know you're really making it work, Bharon. In the last month, I've gotten personal DMs from the owners of the top 2 or 3 supplement and essential oil companies, which means they want,
they want a piece of that action, buddy.
And that DM's getting left unread because it's just easier to say no by not replying. But the truth is, take me out of that equation. Okay. I take PX and PX Stocks and this movement that we've built with the same spirit and the same strategy that Bharon brings to the table with One Chiropractic. Every other kind, form, fashion, and specialty of chiropractic can fit
100%.
In the same
100%.
literal story. If you take the same damn action we do, which is play offense, fully ready to play defense. And here's what we did. We just organized a huge movement of pediatric and family chiropractors. It's not technique dependent. It's not cash versus insurance dependent. It's not anything dependent other than, are you for them? Are you about the people? And if you are, you're about this movement.
And one of the things that I love about our relationship too, I mean, aside from the personal stuff, but we spent a lot of time, you wanted to make sure, knowing you were going to poke the bear, you wanted to make sure that everything was going to be able to really pass the smell test, if you will. And we talked about that. And I said, nothing's going to pass the smell test. We just need to make sure everyone's in a defendable position. And so we spent a lot of time looking through documents and paper and your posts and all the things that you do to make sure that anything you recommended, we could then in turn defend if any regulatory board, which happens all the time. We have certain states that are way more particular about certain words. And, you know, as we're talking about screaming chiropractic from the rooftop, although it's far worse in other countries, still in the United States, we have so many chiropractors that are petrified to speak the truth of chiropractic because they don't want to piss off another specialty or they don't want to get in trouble with the regulatory board. Listen, fear is a figment of your imagination, causing you to fear things that do not exist, right? Danger is real, but fear is a choice. The only thing that beats fear is passion.
Yeah.
When you're more passionate about what you're doing, you're less fearful of the waves and the wake that it creates. It's a law. It's a law. And so we're asking you to love the chiropractic enough, love the calling on your life enough to want to come together, because coming together, it was what brings that security and the power. You're no longer one man standing in the middle of the field. You're now in the middle of a pack, and you have some army in front of you that's taking those initial shots on your behalf, because that's what we were built to do. Our organization is built to be on the tip of the spear on the front line so that you have the confidence to keep telling your story, to keep adjusting the people that need to be adjusted, and to ensure that we are separate and distinct as a profession, the same way we were from the very beginning, the same way we were during the 50s and 60s with the Wilkes case. The same thing that built us and got us to where we are today was being separate and distinct and delivering a specific chiropractic adjustment. If we continue to go back to that, and you have the confidence to be able to speak that way, where you're not fearful of it, and therefore adding so many other things to your practice that you're doing because of economics, not because it's part of your core belief system, not because it's what you really want to be doing. You're doing it to get your cost per visit up. And I get it. It's a balance in life. And that's what Tony was talking about before, where it becomes about us instead of about the patients. And I'm not saying any of that stuff's wrong, because there are people that love it. They deliver it and they're helping tons of people. But I'm going to tell you, there are so many chiropractors that put things in their practice because they've lost their passion for the adjustment. Yeah. And I want you to know that you can still make just a ton of money delivering an adjustment, man. Just delivering an adjustment. It's pretty amazing. But we got to come together and organize around that.
Tell you this, it's a real story. Just to finish, my case study is a place for every other chiropractic organization to tap into with One Chiropractic and with Bharon. I will speak truthfully here in closing. I had fear building up inside me for the first time in my career before I launched the PX Stocks platform and the Experience Miracles podcast, and then that marketing material that we were talking about that you ran through. I hesitated. And I know no one who sees me from the outside will think that there's even an ounce of hesitation in me. But I did absolutely know who we were going to tick off. And I had no background that Bharon in One Chiropractic. I had no training, no experience, no know-how in order to know how to defend myself for the battles that I knew were coming. So I can say unequivocally, I would not have sprinted forward this far, this fast alone. I wouldn't have. I don't even know for sure if I would have launched the podcast. I was on my knees continually praying to God, why is there hesitation here? Why is there deliberation here? Why is there fear here? Because strategically, it had a basis, right? It really did. And so instantly in those prayers, God said, you know who to call, moron. Okay. And that's how God, hey, by the way, God loves me.
That's how he talks to me too. Don't worry.
Yeah, totally. Right. You know how a dude really loves you. This is a dude talk, right? If they really just, talk smack to you, they're like, okay, you really know me.
Yeah.
And we love each other. If somebody's too kind to me, I'm like, I don't think.
Yeah. Right.
So the truth is, he said, you gotta get with One Chiropractic and say, just go there, tell them the whole plan, lay it all in front of them, and link up with them. And that's what we've done for the entire 5 years of this PX Docs and Experience Miracles mission. So everybody out there in chiropractic who has piss and vinegar and is ready to sprint forward, you cannot, trust me, you cannot sprint forward as far, as fast alone. I cannot wait to go 3 years down the road, Bharon, and look around the table as we gather and organize with One Chiropractic and see the people who are standing up for the elderly, see the people who are standing up and taking upper cervical to the masses, see the people who are taking sports performance to the masses, see the people who are taking workers' comp and auto, Andrew White, right? Mm-hmm. With Align Co. And taking that and standing up for those.
Love it.
I cannot wait to champion all of us together because we are us. Yeah. We're all chiropractors, man. Yep. What a blessing, what a calling, what a responsibility, and what a time to organize so we can go on offense and capture opportunity.
Dude, mic drop. Absolutely love it, brother. Well, listen, thank you I always energized when I have some time with you. Thanks for letting me put this in the archive here. And those of you watching, just know you are not alone, man. You are not alone. And hopefully this has inspired you a little bit. It's going to wake you up. It's going to get you off of the bleachers onto the field. And we're going to do something amazing because God's got a plan for us. He's already got it done. We've just got to be willing to participate. And when we do it together, man, it's a whole lot more fun. So we love you. Thank you, Dr. Tony. Have a great remainder of your day. And those watching, remember, you are loved, you are appreciated, and never stop telling the story of chiropractic. And we'll be back at you soon. All right, God bless.
Hey, Dr. Tony here, and I wanted to say thank you for listening to the Family Practice Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe to the show so you don't miss a thing. Also, if you're looking for more content from us, you can absolutely subscribe to our newsletter, watch exclusive episodes on YouTube, and dive deep into the articles and blogs on our website. All of this is linked in today's show notes. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next episode.